Hello everyone, back tuning in to the 25th and final Christmas update of 2016 from GazWeathers.com. So, we started Christmas updates on the 1st of November, and on a roughly every other night basis, we've been having a look at, starting off with the long-range CFS V2 model, and then latterly going through to the shorter-range GFS model, having a look at the possible weather for Christmas. I'm not sure the Christmas updates have covered themselves in glory, particularly this year, because when we was using the long-range CFS, it appeared that we had a good trend for a cold Christmas, with a lot of the updates coming out cold and blocked, including the very memorable Update 14, which I think will live on in a lot of people's memories because it was a very cold and wintry update. But around the 19th update, we changed from the CFS through to the shorter range GFS model, and since then it's been downhill all the way for anybody wanting cold weather over Christmas. And essentially, we are looking at a mild Christmas, going to be Atlantic driven, particularly mild on Christmas Day itself, which could be approaching record-breaking warmth on Christmas Day. Boxing Day will be a bit colder. I mean, it gets a bit colder as we head on in towards the new year. In any case, we will do the final update for you in a second. Before I get on with that, just say about the ads. It's articles on all the pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through the links. If there's any articles that you're interested in helping us to pay for our website, thanks very much for doing that. There's also video ads about pages which own our content. When you watch regulars back up again, it does help to pay the gas with this. The Christmas shop has been a huge success, so thanks to everybody who has done their Christmas shopping at Amazon via Gazworthies again this season. Been a big success, so thank you to everybody for doing that. It is linked to all year round at the website, but from now on I won't be plugging it anymore at the start of the videos. And just say, I had a look back through the Christmas updates, and I think we've had around 12 of 18 with CFS that was definitively cold. And the other ones, many of them did sort of suggest a possibility of colder conditions. Only around 3 or 4 that were very definitively mild and stormy. So the kind of scenario that we got for this Christmas was very much a minority view within the Christmas updates this year. Been a very poor performance from the CFS V2. I'm not sure what explains that, other than maybe had a cold November with quite a bit of blocking and a very weak polar vortex. Might be that the model just went over the top with that scene and carried it on too long. I'm not sure what's gone wrong with CFS V2 this season. But anyway, let's get on with the final update. So we're starting tomorrow, 23rd of December, where we've got Storm Barbara blasting heavy rain and gales across the country. This is the chart for around this time tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the evening. There's heavy rain pushing it across the country. The winds are strong for all of us, but the strongest of winds are definitely up in the north, giving Scotland a real battering of gales, and in the far north, I think severe gales is certainly possible. Gusts of wind certainly up to 70, 80 miles an hour there in northern Scotland, could go higher than that. So a real battering of gale force winds for the north tomorrow. Upper air temperatures with this storm are technically mild, but they will turn colder later as that low pressure begins to pull away. There's the heavy rain sweeping in with those strong winds across the country, so a proper wet and windy afternoon and evening for all parts of the country. Temperatures are going to be mild tomorrow, up to 10 or 11 degrees, but eventually it will turn colder for Scotland and Northern Ireland, with risk of showers turning wintry. Barbara goes up towards Norway as we head into Christmas Eve, and then we find ourselves in this westerly flow. The next area of low pressure is in the centre of the Atlantic Ocean. That's going to be with us and producing the very mild day that we've got coming up on Christmas Day. But for Christmas Eve, it's not too bad, really. The upper air temperatures are cooler, so it'll be a more seasonable feel, albeit it won't be particularly cold, just temperatures going back towards average. Showers in the north, and a few of these could be wintry. Don't rule out the chance of a few flakes of snow turning up over the Scottish mountains in particular, possibly coming down some lower levels across northern parts of Scotland. Looks mostly dry for southern and southeastern parts of England and Wales. And then later on, we'll bring a veil of cloud into the west with outbreaks of rain heading in towards Northern Ireland by evening. So those are the temperatures for Christmas Eve. We're looking at temperatures in the south of around 7 to 10, and in the north around, say, 3 to 6. So it'll be a cooler day, but still generally on the mild side, especially so for southern, southeast parts of the country. And then talking of mild, this is what we have on Christmas Day. Again, another deep area of low pressure to the north of Scotland, and that's bringing in a very broad, warm sector. A large sector of warm air is being dragged in with that area of low pressure. There's the upper air temperature showing it's going to be a very mild day indeed, with the UK within that envelope of warm air to start the day. But as we go through the day, we're actually going to find things turning colder up in the north. So after a very mild start, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and eventually Northern England will turn cooler. But for the rest of England and Wales, yes, it's going to be another exceptionally mild Christmas Day. We are having a run of very mild Christmases since our last cold one, which was in 2010. We've been very, very unlucky at the moment for seasonal feeling Christmases. This Christmas Day could again be approaching record temperatures, and we had record temperatures last Christmas Day. We reached 16 degrees, which was a new temperature record for Christmas Day. We could be doing it again 2 years running, can you believe? So we start off with wet weather up across Scotland on Christmas Day. Elsewhere, just a lot of cloud and clag and drizzly bits and pieces of rain, especially around western coast. Through the day, we're going to find heavier rain on a cold front spreading southwards and eastwards across Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England. That will eventually introduce colder air in towards Scotland. That cold front never really arriving into the Midlands, southern, southeastern England through daylight hours. It will arrive on Christmas night. So temperatures start off very mild on Christmas Day. We're at around 9, 10, 11 degrees at 6 a.m. in the morning, and it just gets milder. So as we go through to the afternoon, we're looking at afternoon temperatures on Christmas Day of around 13, 14 degrees possible across England and Wales. And we've got to go a couple of degrees more to get to the record temperature that was set last year. So it's 16 degrees that we're going to be looking for to get a new Christmas Day, or to approach a Christmas Day temperature record. We might fall just a bit short of it. I'm not sure if we'll do it or not. But in any case, it's going to be a very, very mild Christmas Day until it turns colder later in the day across Scotland and Northern Ireland, with temperatures dropping into single digits. And by evening, showers actually across northern Scotland could be turning wintry. And then that leads us into a colder day for Boxing Day. This ridge of high pressure building up from the southwest within a colder air mass then. So you see that cold air is coming down across the UK. Actually, it is. We are seeing quite cold air there. -5 isotherms going down in towards the south of England. We clear any rain away overnight, Christmas night and Boxing Day, which should be a nice and sunny day. There will be showers across Scotland, Northern Ireland and North West England, and those could be wintry with that cold air moving southwards. But most places actually having a dry day on Boxing Day. And the dew points look cold for the north, so showers could well be wintry up there. These are the temperatures ranging from around, say, 2 to 7 degrees. You will notice the difference from Christmas Day to Boxing Day when that cold front has moved through. Then Bank Holiday Tuesday shows high pressure over the top of the country then, and that's within quite cold air, so the upper air temperatures look chilly. It is mostly dry, but it'll be cold. There'll be a widespread frost on Tuesday morning, and temperatures by day probably going to go no better but around 3, 4 or 5 degrees for most parts of the country. So a proper seasonal feeling day by Tuesday. Just unfortunate we couldn't have that on Christmas Day. Wednesday 28th shows high pressure still dominating, very close to the country. A lot of dry weather coming up with that as well, almost universally dry across the country. We start off with a frost again in many places, and again temperatures by day just 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees. Will be colder than that if there's any lingering fog. That's always a question with high pressure in the winter. Do we get fog lingering? If we do, it'll be colder than the temperatures are being forecast. That high pressure remains very dominant. If you watch today's main video, which is on the homepage, you'll know there's a slight discrepancy for after Christmas in the position of this high pressure. If we centre it around Germany and the Low Countries, then particularly England and Wales could keep it quite cold with frost. If we centre it down towards the Alps, then we might pull up a southerly southwesterly wind. This latest run of the GFS has this high pressure centred towards Germany. So consequently, Thursday, 29th of December, looks anticyclonic, and for England and Wales, potentially quite cold. Be milder for Scotland, a lot of dry weather, a little bit of rain in the far north of Scotland. Temperatures start off with a frost, particularly for England and Wales. Turns milder for Scotland and Northern Ireland, also parts of southwest England, but much of England and Wales looking cold on Thursday. Friday 30th has high pressure again, very much in control, but a milder southwesterly flow is establishing for the north and west. Again, lots of dry weather after Christmas, so Friday 30th is again another dry day. Temperatures could be frosty across England and Wales to start off with, and by day they're only up to around 5 or 6 degrees at best. Will be colder than that if there's any lingering fog. New Year's Eve starts to re-establish a milder westerly flow, so we're bringing a front through there and lifting the temperatures up. We've got a bit of a warm sector coming in across the UK, although cold air is beginning to push back in towards Scotland and Northern Ireland. Interestingly, there's a band of rain also moving southwards and eastwards on New Year's Eve, and the temperatures do look milder, up to around 9-10 degrees, before it turns a bit colder again across Scotland. This is how the first day of 2017 is looking. High pressure to the south, low pressure to the north, and we're bringing in a westerly flow. That looks pretty unsettled and mild as well. Upper air temperatures are looking mild. It's quite wet across Scotland and Northern Ireland, mostly dry for England and Wales. Temperatures back close to average, around 6, 7 or 8 degrees Celsius for the first day of 2017. And then Bank Holiday Monday, the end of the Christmas period. It shows we're in a cooler northwesterly flow for the north. Probably still quite mild in the south, but wind is trying to get into the north actually there. So we're trying to bring some colder air down towards Scotland, but most places are still milder. Looks like there's rain for the north. It's mostly dry in the south, and temperatures look mild at around 10 degrees Celsius. Just running through the first week, first few days of January, so we dropped quite a cold trough down into Scandinavia and many central eastern parts of Europe. Winter finally blasting through there. We stay on the periphery of that, under this area of high pressure through that opening phase of January. But I'm not sure the models have really got the new year and the early part of January sorted out yet. It's quite a long way off. And reading between the lines, I think there is a little bit of potential certainly by New Year's Day, possibly be turning the winds into the north and bring down some colder air. So watch your space on that. That's still the question, really, about what happens through the new year in start of January. So that's it. That's the end of Christmas updates for another year. Sorry we've ended up at quite a disappointing place after a very enjoyable journey. The destination has been quite disappointing, but I hope you enjoyed the ride anyway. We'll always have the 14th update, of course, which was pretty spectacular for cold and snowy conditions. And what remains is to say that's it for now. The updates will continue over the next few days. So we'll do weekend forecast on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day I've got the historic video looking at the whole of the year of 1879 in 3 parts. So then after that, on Boxing Day, things will be back to normal. So things always continue at Gazwavids through the Christmas period. But if this is the last video you're going to be watching this side of Christmas, and have a great Christmas, and well, see you after the big day. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.